Hello, my name is Tara Springett. I'm a Buddhist teacher and therapist, and today I would like to talk to you about my new book, The Happy Eating Approach, Buddhist Advice on Happy Eating for Optimal Health and Weight. So I just show you this here. So that's me in this yoga posture. There's nothing retouched, and at the age of 54. And I have worked with numerous clients who want to lose weight or have a more relaxed approach to eating, a happier approach, and have a better body image, a better feeling about themselves and their body. And I have used the principles that I've outlined in this book, and they were very successful. So generally speaking, most people found it much easier to lose weight on this program, and what's even more important, they found the solution to this whole conundrum: how do I lose weight and feel good in myself and my body? And so I thought it is a good idea to write a book about it and to make these principles more widely known. These principles that I'm using are of course Buddhist principles, and so for that reason this will not be a book full of recipes and diet tips and eat this, eat that. It is much more that we try to work on a deeper level on our whole approach, how we deal with ourselves and with our environment, and part of that is of course what we eat and how we eat and when we eat. And if we learn to apply Buddhist principles to this part of our life, then we can transform this part of our life just like we can transform our emotions in meditation or advance on the spiritual path in general. So these Buddhist principles, there are a number of them, and I want to quickly tell you what they are. The first one is that when we meditate in Buddhist meditation, then of course there is a very important part of that is learning to relax. And when it comes to diet and eating, it is very important that we have a way of eating that is relaxing. Because if we have the best diet in the world, so and so many fat grams and protein grams and this, that and the other, and in the morning so much and in the evening so much, if it takes effort to stick to this diet, then eventually we will fail at that diet. And that is just simply true, because if you always need to put in effort, then one day we run out of this effort, and then we think, oh my god, this is all too complicated, I just have a big binge or whatever. So the way of eating described in this book is a form of eating in which you can relax. It is something that you can relax more and more deeply as time goes on. It's all about relaxing into a form of eating that feels natural, that feels good, that feels right, and trusting this approach. And the more we trust, the more we can relax. And that is already the next Buddhist principle, which is trust. And in Buddhism we believe we try to develop trust in our higher nature, in our Buddha nature. And in the same way we can trust that our body has an inbuilt drive to want to stay slim and healthy, and so that the body gives us the right signals to eat the right kind of food to achieve this aim. Now, a lot of people would say, oh no, my body is always telling me wrong things. They eat, go into this fast food joint and eat a big burger or something. However, when we are paying more attention, we are more mindful, which is actually the third principle, then we can actually feel that these are misleading signals. And if we pay a bit more attention, then we can learn to feel and to recognize that our body is actually giving us the right guidelines. And for that reason, we can then learn with time that our body is actually our ultimate diet guru, not what whatever the latest low carb diet is telling us, and the latest this diet and that diet, and fasting 2 days and eating 5 days, and whatever else is the newest trend. Our body is telling us all the right things. We don't even need to know all about this by paying genuine attention. And that is already the third principle, and that is mindfulness. So you will find in this book a lot of advice how to be more mindful, starting from thinking about what I want to eat before I even start it, to really listen to your own body, to your mind. Then going shopping, choosing the right food, being mindful while we do that. Then cooking and being mindful through the cooking process or preparing the food. And then being mindful before we eat, being mindful while we're eating, being mindful once we've finished eating, feeling how does this food actually make me feel afterwards? Is this actually a good feeling? And by learning to be so mindful, it is actually very, very easy to make changes and say, actually, this food, I thought I really liked this food, but once I've actually eaten it, I notice I get actually quite bloated. So then it's not really difficult to say, no, I make some other choices that agree with me better. And if we choose food that agrees with our body, that doesn't make us tired and bloated, then and our body can digest it well, then it will also help us to lose weight and gain our optimal weight. Now, there's also some people have unconscious reasons to stay overweight, and this is something that is usually totally neglected in diet advice. And for example, some people maybe have a friend or a sister, and they're much bigger than them, and they maybe feel, if I now slim down, then that would hurt my sister. She would feel even more upset about her weight. Now that is a typical example why we have maybe an unconscious reason to stay overweight. Other reasons like that are maybe warding off unwanted sexual advances, or in men maybe suppressing aggressive, angry impulses. It's easier to eat. And so there's a whole range of unconscious reasons. So it's not only those three that I've just mentioned. And in the book you will find a exercise that you can use to test out whether you have an unconscious reason to stay overweight, and that makes it very, very hard to lose weight, and even if you succeed you will very quickly gain it again. And if you recognize that that reason, then you can do something about it and it will stop ruling you. Now in Tibetan Buddhism we pay a lot of attention to real enjoyment, and that is also something that I will emphasize in this book a lot. Really, what I'm saying to you is try to get more enjoyment out of the food, the choice of food, the preparation of food while you eat. And if you learn to maximize this enjoyment, then not only will you feel more, happier and more joyful with all your food choices, you also will lose weight, for the simple reason that if you really enjoy your food, you need to eat less. Because a lot of people eat more and more and more because they just don't get that satisfaction that they want from food. But once you learn to eat in a way that feels really, really satisfying, you will find that you are satisfied with a lot less than before. And so therefore it is important to learn this art of really enjoying yourself. Now another important part that I'm taking from Buddhism is to honor the mind-body connections. So our emotions, our feelings have an impact on our body, and our body, the feelings and sensations in our body have an impact on our mind. Now this body-mind connection is fairly common. Most people believe in that, but most diet books will not tell you that. Now, when we choose our food, it is very important that we cater to our body and our emotions. So we have very strong emotional needs for certain types of food. For example, sweet foods. For example, fatty food. You know, it satisfies certain emotional needs. And if we try to override this and say, oh, I'm always eating now, I avoid the sweet taste altogether because, you know, that's sugar is bad and so on, and surely I don't need that, I can just eat vegetables and fish or whatever, then we're depriving ourselves on the emotional level. And that, again, will be very negative for our weight loss, because then once we've eaten all the healthy food, then we only crave the sweet taste, then we want the dessert, and then of course we eat too much. So what I'm saying in this book is try to determine what you really want emotionally and physically, and have it, and have only that. And if that is a sweet meal, so have a sweet meal, have it with healthy sweeteners. There are a number of them, they are all described in here. They're also common knowledge, you will also find that on the internet, which sweeteners are healthy, but I also have included a chapter of that in here. But what is new, what is you will not find on the internet, is learning to eat so that you satisfy your body and your mind. Okay, the next aspect of Buddhist advice that I use is love and compassion, and that is that we can only make changes in our life if it happens on the foundation of self-love. Now, a lot of people who have extra weight, they find it very hard to love themselves because, you know, they're not happy with their body, and there's a self-loathing and so forth. Now, I will show you a way how you can love yourself even if you have extra weight, even if you haven't got the perfect figure yet, even if you've got lots of issues with your body image. And it is very, very important to develop this loving kindness towards yourself, because it is absolutely, you know, important and a prerequisite to make changes anywhere in life, and particularly also with our diet and with weight loss. Then I will also talk about the power of visualization, which is also a Buddhist principle, and show you a way how you can visualize your goal, your weight loss goal. And the last Buddhist aspect is called the middle path. When we talk about the Buddhist middle path, we mean a reconciliation of seeming opposites, of being on the one hand very relaxed in our approach to our diet, but on the other hand also keep to certain rules and do that simultaneously. And so that is really what the book is aiming for. So the book is not telling you just eat and enjoy yourself and have as much as you want. Obviously, it can't be like this, obviously. But it shows you eat as much as you need and not more, through enjoying yourself, through being mindful, through honoring the body-mind connection. All right, I hope you got some interest in the book. The link for the book is here, and here you can subscribe to my channel. And if you like to leave a comment or give me a thumbs up or share this video, I would be very happy. And thank you for listening. Bye bye.